Hi, I am Sato. This is Japanese taxi.
Japan has an estimated of 300,000 operating taxis nationwide. And guess what was the first ever taxi in Japan? It dates back to the 1912, where the American-made T. Ford came into this land and made commercialized taxi service. Now, taxis in Japan are spotlessly clean and they provide a really high quality of the service. Most of the drivers in Japan, they will never take, let's say not never, but you normally take advantage of customers for an extra cash, and the fares are calculated according to its running meter machine. Taxis are inexpensive and most of the cases are unnecessary alternative for its well-maintained public transportation. However, we have the cases of high demand of taxis, especially over the weekend, Fridays and Saturday nights. You will see the people stranded in the train stations looking for the taxis, raising their hands, queue up for their taxis. Japan still, let's say, doesn't have the Uber taxi, and there are reasons why. Let me quote you one of them. The safety of a taxi services could be weakened if rideshare services are introduced in Japan. It's been said by the Chief Secretary of the Taxi Drivers Union, which opposed the Uber's use of ride-hailing in Japan. So Uber has been unable to bring its full ride-hailing services in Japan as the local regulations outlaw non-professional drivers from transporting paying customers. I wouldn't say there is no Uber services in Japan. There are specific areas in the major cities like Tokyo and Osaka. You will still find a small Uber services, but it's almost zero. Apparently, it is expensive than the regular taxi rides. In addition, guys, I would like to add one very interesting story about the taxi drivers and taxi riders in Japan. If you may know, there was a Japan economy boom in the past, and what happened is there were so many salarymen, what we call the people who work in offices, and they after work they usually go for drinking occasions, so they get drunk. And in the street, of course, the public transportation is already out of a duty, so the only way is to get home, use the taxi rides. Now, they go into the streets and taxis used to pick up whoever gives me more money. Literally, the salaryman or their big managers, they used to get their monies out of their wallet. For example, it's a 10,000, 20,000 yen, and literally wave it in the street to stop their taxi. And that was the story in the past.
Hi, I am Sato. This is Japanese taxi.
Hey folks, today we have a taxi in Japan, and that's what we're going to introduce you. And we have a lovely gentleman here, and his name is Sato Chikahiro. And he's 69 years old, and he's still doing the taxi business, and he's still driving on the Japanese roads, and he's still bringing the bacon home.
My name Sato Chikahiro. Yokohama. My wife Filipina. Baby boy high school Manila.
How long have you been a taxi driver?
3 years です。
13 years.
13年です。
Is there a special exam or license required to become a taxi driver?
第2種免許ないとダメですね。ペーパーとドライビングテスト。2種免許は13年前、3 years です。
Are you working for a taxi company or are you doing a private taxi?
今はオンリーワンタクシー、個人タクシー。前は会社のタクシーです。個人は時間が自由です。 家に帰っちゃってもいいし、仕事をしてもいいし、自由なんですね。
How long you had to work in a taxi company?
朝出て夜中で終わり。15時間です。
Can you own a private taxi in Japan? If so, what are the requirements?
日本で個人タクシーになるには、タクシーカンパニーで10 year、10年。あと、バンクのマネーが100万円。あと、アクシデントと、あと、違反ダメです。自分の家に長く住んでないとダメです。チェンジはダメです。
Do you have holidays, Saturdays, Sundays?
私は、マンデー休みです。日曜日は仕事です。
What is the yearly wage of the taxi drivers?
だいたい500万ですね。個人は。タクシーカンパニーだったらだいたい300万。
What do you like the most about being a taxi driver and you hate the most?
運転の仕事だから大好きですね。仕事が運転で自分も運転好きだから。嫌いなのは事故やらないことと違反やらないこと。
How do you eat lunch during working hours?
お昼はコンビニ、ローソン、セブンイレブンでコーヒーとパン買って車の中で食べます。
Can any car model be used as a taxi?
レクサス、ベンツ、センチュリー、クラム、みんな大丈夫です。ただ、BM とボルボは長い間一回も見たことないんです。
How often do you use a map or navigation?
私は横浜は使いません。道が全部わかりますから、遠いお客さんが乗ってくると、ナビがないと目的地まで行けないんですね。
一番遠くまでどこまで行ったんですか？
今まで私ね、タクシードライバー長いんですけど、一番遠いのは成田空港です。成田エアポート。あと所沢の西部球場。
じゃあ、what is your most interesting experience as a taxi driver?
で、今まで一番面白いお客さんは、自分の家に来ないかって言うんです。そしたらなんでっつったらお客さんがはっきり言うんです。一緒にお風呂入って楽しみましょうって言うんですね。お願いします、お願いしますが、ダメですって言って、それが一番印象に残ったことです。
なるほどね。What do you do if a customer forgets his or her belongings in the car?
一番しなければならないことは、近くの警察署届けることが基本です。絶対にダメです。届けないと。どんな小さなものでも取っちゃったらお客さんのものだからダメです。で、一番多いのは傘。携帯電話が一番多いです。
Did you have a customer who forgot 1 million yen inside your car?
50万とか100万円のお客さんの忘れ物は一回もないです。今まで最高のお客さんは20万円ですね。警察行って届けて、お客さんに僕の電話番号教えてもいいですかって警察が言うから教えていいですよっつったら、お客さんから電話あって3万円ぐらいくれましたけど、私はもらいました。
じゃあ、佐藤さん。This year you are 69 years old. When do you think to retire?
75までです。今みんなドライバーは個人は75で終わりです。今まで日本では、何歳までもできたんです。80歳、90歳でも個人タクシーできました。でも3、4年前に新しいルールできまして、私元気って言っても、絶対に75でやめなきゃいけないんです。私今69歳で、あと6年できるんです。あと6年間頑張ります。その後は、ワイフがフィリピナーなので、フィリピンに永住します。
佐藤さん、Thank you for the interview. Thank you for your experience. Keep doing a good job. Stay healthy. and good luck with your business.
ありがとうございました。
Now let's talk about the car models or the taxi models that we normally see in our daily life in Japan. The number one iconic one that everyone and most of the foreigners who come and visit Japan, they will see a Toyota Comfort. Released in 1995, was designed for a use as a taxi cab in Japan. A long wheelbase version called Toyota Crown Comfort is available in Japan, Hong Kong and Singapore. Replaced by the Toyota JPN Japan Taxi, which was launched in 2017. In Singapore, the implementation of Euro 4 emission requirements forced the taxi companies to remove the Crown Comforts from the service in 2014. Japan Taxi 2017 new model, with its exterior body dressed in the symbolic traditional Japanese color koi-ai. It's a color born from the hearts of the Japanese, a deep indigo blue. This traditional color evokes the Japanese hospitality. The color koi-ai will stand by you and give you a sense of a security, dignity and formality. A design pursued by customers, drivers and the business owners. The vehicle features of a power rear sliding door and a low flat floor. The large windows allow customers to enjoy a view of the landscape. The cabin features a high ceiling and the driver has an optional range of vision due to the position of the pillars and the rear windshield wipers. Headlights and the fenders are divided into separated parts, contributing to a lower repair costs. Toyota has taken into consideration the comfort of the customers, the convenience of the drivers, and the priorities of business owners. The rear passenger door is an electrical slide door. The rear seats also fold up and the ramp folds out to accommodate the wheelchair passengers. The powertrain is based on the hybrid systems THS2. The engine uses 1.5 liter 1NZ FXP and an electric water pump that doesn't require auxiliary belt maintenance. The battery is a nickel hydride. In order to achieve the flat floor, the battery is thin in design and placed under the floor. The rear cargo area is spacious enough to hold 2 large suitcases or 4 golf bags, while the passenger compartment offers the 9 inches of headroom due to its high roof. The base model comes equipped with built-in soundproofing and air purification, while the high-end Takumi model includes a ceiling-mounted air circulator and heating system for the rear seats. Now, how to use the taxis or how to call the taxi drivers? Well, very traditional way, on your feet, you go to the street and raise your hand and look for a taxi. That's the one thing. Second one, in Japan, you can make a call for a neighboring taxi services and call them for a pickup time. You can designate the time and request them to come for an early departure. Application. Now, this is the Japan Taxi application. In Japan, yes, we have this application and it's convenient. It's super cool, yeah. But you need to have a Japanese phone number to utilize the taxi arrangement for you to pick up and put to destination. However, it's only the 5% of the taxi riders are using this application in Japan. They normally go to the street and call the taxi or just give a call to a neighbor taxi service. Now in Japan, the taxi drivers, they communicate with the customers who are on the road with the signboard like this. Of course, most of them are coming in a Japanese kanji. Now what do you see here in a red color, which might be confusing for some of you guys, means kusha, means empty. I can't pick up anybody in the street. When the taxi driver picks up a customer, then the signboard goes off. That means the running meter is on. So once the customer had reached its destination, his or her destinations, then we'll have a signboard called the shiharai. Shiharai is actually giving a receipt for you to pay. Geisha. That's not the geisha you guys know. It's not the geisha the movie, but Meaning is when the taxi driver is going to a point of a destination for a pickup. And the next sign on this board means kaiso, meaning is I'm going back home. The taxi driver off work.
海外の皆さん、日本に来たら日本のタクシーに乗ってください。運転手がすごくドライバーのみんな親切でいいタクシー多いんで、日本に来たらぜひタクシーに乗ってください。皆さんお元気でありがとうございます。